So this is a bit confusing, but I think I'm streaming, although the Zoom's not picking it up. So I have to remember what to do here. So I think we're streaming here, everybody on YouTube, and so we're just gonna connect over onto our Zoom account, and that way everyone's in the same place. Okay, that's up here. Bring that down, and I think my camera needs to be on. And OBS virtual camera. Okay, sorry guys, it's a lot of moving parts here. Okay, I think that's it. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. I've let them in.
All right. So, and yeah, no worries. Okay, well, hey everybody, I guess we'll get started here doing something a little different today, an impromptu live stream and live streaming. So I'm just going to check a few things here. I might log in and do some live trading. So, and then we're going to talk about a Black Friday, last minute Black Friday special that some of you, I think, will be interested in. And but we'll get to that. Most importantly, I want to help you guys any way that I can. And so what I'm going to do is I'm logging into my Coinbase account on another screen, kind of respect some privacy here, but I want to show you guys what we've been up to and how we've been absolutely nailing these markets. And so anyway, this is live streaming. We're on Zoom with our members, and it's a little bit a last minute, but and then we just started the recording. So if you're just signing on or watching the recording, this is a live stream, kind of live trading. I've got my actual account over on the other screen. We'll pull that up in a moment and might do some trading here, kind of based on what we're doing, and want to give you guys some idea of what I'm seeing in these markets. So let's see. I'm going to put this away. The chat I will have open here if you guys are on Zoom. If you're on the YouTube, I'm not going to be able to monitor that. So anyway, but anyway, markets are, let's dive into it. I know you guys are busy and there's a lot going on, and a couple familiar names here, of course, private clients, Doug, David, Ian here, David Lee, Dr. T, and Melissa. So those of you who are in the Zoom, and welcome everybody on YouTube. So anyway, you should be able to see me. And on the chart that you guys see, because on mine there's like some weird black stuff. Do you guys see this black stuff in the chart? That shouldn't be there. And you know what that is? All right, I know what that is. Okay, so that is because of the green screen that I have behind me, actually. Isn't that interesting? It's picking that up. So what I'll do is I'll turn off these order block detectors. On my screen, they're green. Those are buy zones. Sure enough, there they go. We don't need those right now. All right, here's a TLDR, everybody. I'm watching the total market cap today, and so there are some mixed signals here, you guys. And so what we're going to look at here is some overall big picture stuff. We're going to look at the total market cap, and I'm going to pull up some other studies that some of you in our M3 Active Trader are familiar with, and those of you that are not, I'll go over that briefly. So here's my barometer here, total market cap, which we were just looking at. And I'll just hide some of this news here. I have unread messages from TradingView. Okay, so that's exciting. Here's what I've had drawn on for a while. Okay, so the total market cap is the North Star. It's not about what Bitcoin's doing. It's not about what ETH or Sol or any of that other stuff are doing. The biggest barometer is the total market cap, and when we broke above 3 trillion back here, I knew that was going to be a tricky spot, because that was the exact top of the former market, the prior market top. So we can see that right here, all the way back here to the dollar almost. And when you're dealing with $3 trillion, that to me signifies programmatic selling. And I'm trying to go full screen, and the F11 key doesn't work, and this, okay, no worries. So just bear with me here. So $3 trillion was the market top And then we had our market top signal, the bearish early reversal indicator, this bearish engulfing candle, and two more of our signals. Just as review, it's new for some of you. When we had these three things line up red, we called the top of the market exactly. Also, the pi cycle top had triggered there. So where I'm leaning towards is we're going to nail the market top again, more than likely. So with that, and I'll go back to the daily, what I've been suggesting here, when we break resistance on any chart, whether it's a crypto or an index, stocks, whatever you want to call it, typically it will come back and retest that. So I had drawn this kind of squiggly line here. I tend to draw them out a little farther just to make it easier to see, but these things can happen quickly. So we broke 3 trillion, we pushed up in this range, and then we pulled back to retest 3 trillion a little bit, but now we're kind of having trouble breaking higher. So it's going to be really important to see where the markets close today. We have all bullish signs on our radar, but on the total market cap anyway, but I'm seeing a lot of cryptos coming into sell block zones. So where we want to be like Wayne Gretzky, where does Wayne Gretzky go? He goes where the puck is going to be. My concern here is if we sell off end of the day, which tends to happen, mornings in the US and into the early afternoons, we can see these pumps. And, the games that happen, the games that market makers play, because they know by pushing higher and having new highs almost on this, it's going to pull in a lot of those leverage traders who love to gamble and go heavy long, 50x, 100x, okay, and the market makers, which are advanced AI algorithms, they love to basically trick all of these leverage traders into going long, and then they sell it off and liquidate them. All right, so all through here, we've been seeing that this tricking those people into going long, and then they pull it back and dip it down and liquidate those long traders. Also tricking people into going short, and then maybe we rally out of this and liquidate the shorts. So that's what's happening here. And we're already kind of starting to sell off on this. Maybe we'll go to a 1 hour, 4 hour just to see in real time. And so it's helpful to know these things, to kind of know that these kind of tricks that they play. All right, so still in a nice uptrend though in the 1 hour, 4 hour in the total market cap. So what specifically we want to be watching for is that we're putting in at least some higher lows and higher highs. Okay, because if I were to move that here and just move it up a bit, and we come down, then certainly we'd want to see it hold in this range and put in higher lows. Okay, what we don't want to see is start coming back to retest that $3 trillion mark. And we'll go into that in a little more detail. But in some of the coins, especially I'll show you Solana, it's sort of looking like a head and shoulders pattern is forming. Now, I do think the markets are strong, and probably, but the part of this pump was the Thanksgiving pump. By the way, which happens every year. People come in, the new generation meets old generation, and the younger people are sitting around the Thanksgiving table, and Grandpa Joe says, little Bobby, Bobby, what have you been up to? And he starts telling about this thing called crypto and Bitcoin. And so today, the younger generation is sitting around the kitchen table on a laptop, with Grandpa Bob and Grandma Betty, and even sort of the parents, to showing them what it's all about, and they're buying their first Bitcoin and crypto. So the question is it sustainable? And I'm questioning that as we sort of get into this sort of post-Thanksgiving pump, because we are overbought here on our oscillators, and have some bearish divergence here down below. Not here to talk to you about indicators or any of that. Avalanche actually looks pretty good, but when we scroll down into some of these others that we've been recommending, they've pushed up into these red blocks. And if you'll just ignore the buy blocks for now, because I know that's showing up as black, again, because of my green screen. Let me do this. I'm going to change the settings on our order block detector and see if I can turn off the lower one. And let's see. I don't know that I can turn this off actually. So I can change the color, We want to do that. We'll just change the color and something besides green, and just so you guys know that blue, let's make it purple. All right, so now you can see it. So purple is going to be our buy zone. All right, and usually it's green for money, but because of the green screen effect, okay, there you go. So we have these buy zones down below, but we're up into the sell zones in red. And we know from how we designed this signal, this is based on the limit orders on the exchange, and that's on this exchange is Coinbase. So what this means is there's a whole lot of sell orders right up in this range on Stacks, and we're seeing it kind of in some of the other ones. We'll come back to Stacks in a minute, but a number of these approaching these sell zones where we know the sellers are like they're in control. So back to Stacks here, we can see that last time it's probably selling off here, even though it's in a macro uptrend. And I'll turn off the arrows here for a moment. The macro uptrend, and I do think Stacks has some great potential here, but specifically we see that all the buyers who bought over here that got trapped at this $2.40 range and lost money all through down here, they're setting their sell orders just to break even. And that's what happens with these. And then, of course, it keeps going higher, and then they wind up buying it back higher. And then we see some more sell pressure up in this range around $3.72, the old sort of high from earlier in April. Not rocket science. And so that's why I'm wondering, do we start to see some sell pressure here? Now, I'm not exactly a hodler or long-term, but I'm a swing trader, and on this weekly chart, this looks very bullish to me. So I'm kind of probably going to hold on to Stacks. I might sell a partial part of the position and then look to buy back lower. But really, I want to capture this bigger part of the move. And so I'm hoping that the total market cap can hold above this level. You see how it's sort of been selling off the last few days. All right, when we look at Bitcoin, so Bitcoin, I'll pull that up where it was putting in lower highs, but now it's finally breaking through to put in a little bit higher high on the trend line. But we have to make sure it doesn't sell off end of the day. If we sell off on the total market cap below 3.27, 3.25 trillion, I'd say 3.27 trillion, you're right in this range to 3.26 trillion. Then we have these topping tails. I'll make this bigger for you guys. Hopefully you can see this. These topping tails up here, do you see that? That usually it's a sign the sellers are in control and will probably dip back down below again. So the critical area is going to be right down in here to make sure that this holds, and this will be kind of a buying opportunity. However, this could also be a double top and we pull back down a bit farther. Now, our cycles analyst and expert that we're working with, who some of you are familiar with, Juan Villaverde, is projecting a market cycle low on December 5th, which puts us out over here. All right, so I'm going to move this over. That means the markets could chop, go sideways, pull back a bit. And if that's the case, our ideal buys opportunity is going to be over there on that December 5th range, give or take a day. I'm going to draw it right here on December. I'm not sure why it's this thing. This platform is a little bit wonky sometimes. I want to use this one, and then I'm trying to get the date on there. December 5th. There you go. See that down at the bottom, December 5th. And so basically that's what I'm watching for. What's going to happen here? So right now, this fits the narrative, and maybe it chops a little bit more up here and then it comes down, but we're going to be looking specifically to buy right in that range. And why is my text tool not on my favorites list? So there, now it is. And that way we can keep it as full screen for you guys. Okay, so let's put that on there. Come down, grab my text tool, and we'll be looking for this to be a buy area. So it's good to have a thesis. Now, this certainly could be invalidated. And, some of this it's review for many of you. But I'm going to probably just the reason for this impromptu call is to do a little bit portfolio optimization. I'm going to move some projects around. I might review some limit orders that I have because, you guys don't know me from Adam. And a lot of these training guys, these live streamers and YouTubers, they don't trade. Admittedly, they don't even do this. They just advise you guys what to do. All right, well, I'm going to peel back the curtain a bit today, and we'll take a look at that. All right, what else? I want to just briefly touch on some of these other topping signals, like the pi cycle top we'll be watching for. I did see an interesting new video yesterday proposing that the pi cycle top may not trigger, might get close to it, but it may not trigger. We're going to watch when it gets really close. I still think it will. And I'm projecting that we could push up here into this 150K region by the end of the year or January, and then probably see a pullback. By Q2, I'm projecting and forecasting up to a 50% retracement back to the old highs around the 78K, and have a projected sort of 6-month, possibly bear market, mini bear market. Okay, and a couple reasons for that, and then by the end of 2025, I think we see another push higher. So we go into more detail on this in sort of these private client groups. So I'm not here to talk about that today. I just want to give you guys some alpha. And then for those of you that might want to take advantage of an amazing Black Friday sale to work with me one-on-one, I'm going to tell you about that. But first out, let me demonstrate that I know what I'm doing and that I can help you. So here we have, so let me go to Bitcoin first, actually, and we'll go down the line. So if the total market cap is the North Star, what is Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is sort of the, second in line in the Big Dipper, or it's maybe the sun. I don't know. And what we're going to look at there, now Bitcoin also follows the total market cap. Just so you know that. The high of Bitcoin last cycle of this random 69,051, this is where the total market cap hit 3 trillion. Programmatic selling kicked in on everything and it went down. And of course, we had our bear market red alert signal right here fired. So we nailed it there, and we also nailed it on the getting back in here. Even back here in January, if I show you on a monthly chart, there's that green arrow. That is our early reversal indicator that's only triggered 4 times in the history of Bitcoin on a monthly time frame, and each time was a market cycle low. So I'll just go back here to 2015 and show you on this chart right here and here each time market cycle low before the bull run, and here in Jan of 2023. Okay, so these signals are better than anything else we've used out there. And that's an accidental discovery that we rely on. And so where are we now? That's the key question. So we're in this place of not quite 100,000. We got real close to it on my birthday, November 22nd, you guys. I put it away. I was ready to pop that champagne. The proverbial metaphoric champagne. It's too much sugar for me, but we got real close to it. On Coinbase, it kind of shows, rounding error, we got there. But 4 up months in a row, kind of looking for maybe a pullback here in November, a down month. I don't know. How much time do we have? We're almost toward the end of November, but I do like this bottoming tail. Looks bullish on this weekly time frame. And if we go to a monthly time frame, it's a big up green candle. So, a little bit of a sort of a breather is not a bad thing, not a good thing, not a bad thing, just a thing. And we want to try and time this. So, if this does happen, and I mentioned here on this downward sloping trend line, okay, on this daily chart, my concern is we would drift down to this low, maybe 86K. Again, these are the buy zones in purple. Kind of like the purple. What do you guys think? Maybe we'll leave it purple. There's enough green on these charts. But either way, we're pushing up above this. Again, if we sell off, though, by the end of the day below 95.5, and this becomes a red candle, then I think we're going to at least retest 92K. But because it'll be a second attempt, don't be surprised if we pull back here into Bitcoin into the 86.5 range. And that's where I'd be buying Bitcoin. I have an alert there. Let's see. Apparently, I don't have an alert there. I'm going to set one so this could go either way, you guys. I can't tell you definitively which way it's going to go. So we're sort of at this midpoint. In the longer term, no problem. We're going to probably push up to 115K, 120, retest, come back and retest here to 100K, or I think this is more likely. I have a couple studies on this, or up to that 150K range. There's going to be some volatility in here, but I think we'll probably get to 150K. I don't know. Maybe it's only 120K. I'm hearing some estimates around that, and then a retracement. So this is sort of unknown territory, but the bull market's not over, and what we're waiting for is price discovery zone. That's when there's no more sellers that are at a loss. Having some alerts going off, render crossing up $9, so that's one of my profit targets on render, and one of the projects that we like. So anyway, let's kind of keep running down this side of things, and then I'll show you some other macro studies, and then we'll talk about how we can help you maybe build an optimized portfolio for the bull run, like I do with some of my private clients, but sort of a light version of that. And I've posted on Facebook. I've got a bunch of people reaching out on that. A couple of you might hear today might be interested in that, actually. But I've only got three spots left. So looking at Link here, I think Link is going to be a good opportunity for this bull run. Nice upward trending trade channel. And so with these positions that I have, I'm not ready to sell Link here. I'm holding this. We are a bit overbought, but again, I'm referring back to that weekly chart to get the bigger picture. Let's see. I had sell orders. I might have sold my Link. Pardon me. And so this week, let's see. I have a sell limit order at $19. Didn't quite get there, and another one at $20 for that weekly chart. Excuse me 1 second, you guys. Been talking all morning. So with some possible new clients here. So pushing up here to this $20 region, I might lower this, sell limit orders, sell half my Link in case it sells back, because the whole name of the game in swing trading is sell high, buy low. You've heard buy low, sell high, so you can buy low, because if Link sells off and the total market cut and everything sells off and we pull back into this range, this green box is money flow. I'm happy to be buying more here, but only if I have some capital ready. And some of you are long-term buy and hold. That's fine. I'm a swing trader. I'm going to look at these sell blocks and sell partial positions and then buy back if we see pullbacks. So watching that carefully. Watching compound also. And kind of waiting for a pullback to these buy zones. I think the market's a bit overbought here, and so I'm a bit cautious. So that's what we're looking at on this. I'll jump down to ETH and Sol, and then we'll look at some other things. So Solana here is my concern with Solana, which I posted in one of our private groups today, is this potential for a head and shoulders. And that's not the end of the world. I think Solana is a great project. I'll be watching for this 21-day exponential moving average in orange to hold as an early clue. If it doesn't hold, then we'll be looking for this 225 level to hold. But the way that you draw a head and shoulders is there's a neckline, which I'm going to draw. Yeah, it's an art and a science, but if we start losing 235 on Sol, I still think that this rising EMA would hold. But the measured move on a neckline break on Sol is going to be, not catastrophic. It would give some good buy limit orders. So if we break that here, if this is the neckline, then it can push us right down into our buy zone. So down here to the 50-day exponential moving average. So having buy limit orders at 205, where the 50-day will pull back to, you see where that was support here and here, and so that's a good spot to have some buy limit orders. So I have buy pullbacks on Sol, bit of a head and shoulders pattern. Now, could be a larger head and shoulders. Let's say this is a left shoulder and this is a bigger head. Too early to tell. But it wouldn't be a bad thing, you guys, because we're still in this macro uptrend on Solana. And again, if we go over to a weekly, I was meeting with a private client the other day saying, do you think Sol will go back to 200? I'm like, I don't think so, but it certainly could. And we have this big buy block here. So I don't think it goes below 185 ever again. Maybe bear market, but I don't know. I think Sol goes much higher in this market here. So And what our signals show, our radar is mostly green, but we're kind of getting overbought. Have some bearish divergence here on Solana. We're here to read the tea leaves, not let our emotion get involved. And let's just turn on our ERI Pro is fine. Trend strength indicator kind of rolling over. We'll see how the week closes by Sunday, because this little red dot could disappear. Now, these red dots, bearish divergence can be a bit early, but we can see back here they did forecast on a weekly time frame a small pullback on Solana, and those will give us some good buying opportunities. So that's why I'll be kind of keeping a close eye on this and alerting you guys in the private client group and also M3 Active Trader. So anyway, nothing really to worry about. I would just try to have some powder dry just in case. Okay. All right, let's kind of move down the line here. I want to look at some ETH and we'll look at a couple other coins. And then if I see anything that I want to rebalance, I'm going to hop over to Coinbase and show you how you can save a ton of money on your transaction fees and by using their advanced platform and a couple tricks that I'll share with you. All right, so ETH pushed up to a $3,600. There was a big sell block here, so it ate through that sell block, and it's sort of retesting the new local high. So I'm bullish on ETH, bullish on this money flow box right here, and nice that it's retesting that. I think ETH does go up to 4,500 and retest its sort of old all-time high, and then probably goes to 9,000, 10,000 this cycle. So it's good for 2x. So, however, it's a bit extended on above its EMAs here, and I'm watching that total market. Do we have a sell-off going into the weekend? Also, local resistance here on the weekly chart. So, what I like very much, however, and two things. See how you see while we had our ERI down here right at the bottom, that early reversal indicator on the weekly time frame worth paying attention to. Then over here we had a bullish engulfing candle, but look at it on a monthly time frame. Okay, so monthly time frame pushing up big. Where's that ERI on the monthly time frame? I know it was showing. Maybe it's disappeared. We had a monthly ERI on this candle, but big bullish engulfing candle. We'll see how that plays out. Do see a bit of sell pressure up around that range, which we can see already here. So I have some ETH. I'm not going heavy on it. I'm just kind of waiting around and watching the daily here. But I feel well supported below with these money flow boxes and these buy blocks here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Welcome, Paul, Melissa, a couple of people joining. And those of you on YouTube here are getting kind of a free taste, a free look at what we're looking at on our weekly classes. Not all of it, just a taste. So, all right, Solana. We talked about Solana. Filecoin is another one we're watching. Into some sell zones here. Now, I did have some sell limit orders on some of these. Let me hop over and just have a look at my open orders. And I'll just kind of open the kimono here and share this with you. I want to see some of this. I don't want to share all of it, but this account is well locked down, and I don't advise sharing your screen of your accounts. This is in an irrevocable trust with a trustee. So if you got, normally I'd never do this, but there's no way you guys are ever going to access this. Trust me, I can't even withdraw without my trustee to let me. So high security on this. So here's some limit orders on the sell side, and let me see if any of these have filled here today. Let's see. Okay, so a number of limit sell orders and buy orders. I'm going to go over to the all sides and do sell. And I know I had some on Filecoin. I have a limit sell file on at 685 on Filecoin. So my targets are quite a bit higher. I'm very bullish on this coin. I won't give you my targets in this video, but is experiencing some sell pressure. You can see I have as buy dips, and would be prudent here if I see on the 1 hour, 4 hour, although I don't want to micromanage this one, to maybe sell some here and buy back lower. I believe, pardon me, I believe I also have buy orders in that $5 range, so that if it does pull back, that I'll be buying more. And sure enough, I do. So let me pull this back over. This is my Coinbase Advanced account. I have Filecoin limit buy at $5, okay, so that if it pulls back in this range, I'll be buying more in dollar cost averaging. That's the name of the game. I prefer that than selling here possibly prematurely, which I did do on Solana. You know, I did on the way up. I sold Solana at 184, thought it was a resistance zone, which it was right in here, I believe, and it pulled back. Was it in here? It was right in this range. We did get a pullback, but then it rocketed higher. And so I have some Solana, but I missed part of this move because I was too focused on the sell blocks and not the bigger picture. And so with that, I'll be keeping an eye on these and adding to positions on pullbacks. A couple other ones hitting these sell blocks here. I won't go into detail on these projects. Those of you in the M3 Active Trader know, and the private client group. But seeing some sell pressure here. You know, again, I'll be buying dips on these. Optimism also retesting prior resistance. So on Optimism, I'd be selling, putting sell orders up around $3, but I have a much higher target on that to the next sell blocks and even higher on this potentially. So far I don't see anything that I want to change. I spent a lot of time putting in buy sell orders last night. I skipped Thanksgiving, by the way. I was deep in the zone, looking for those next gem coins, posted some potential 85x and 18x coins in the private client group late last night. So I'll tell you how to get access to that. I have some buy limit orders on ICP. If we go over to the buy zone here, I've got, let's see, ICP right down here, limit buy at 1168. So why would I do that? And I think I have one at 1050, but 1168. Let's see, was that a buy or a sell? Actually, ICP, limit buy, 1168. So that makes no sense to me. Oh, that already filled. You know, I might have goofed that. I might have meant to sell that. Let's say, take a look. 1168 would have been right in here. Okay, no, I did buy that because it was coming down, and I bought the breakout above these two candles. I do like ICP here. And I have more buy limit orders and notes to self at the midpoint of our money flow indicator. And let me just double check that. Do I have more buy orders? I guess I don't have more. Oh, no, I do. Buy at 1050 right there. So I'm limited on my buy orders. ICP, Filecoin, and Link I have buy orders on. And I have limit sell orders on about a dozen of these. Why? To take profits into these zones. Okay, so let's maybe look at that. ICP, I'm selling some of that, I believe. And where would that be? That's going to be at 1250. That's my target. Where's 1250? In the mid block, right around the mid zone of this sell block. Okay, so it spiked up here before. I could probably get 12.575, but I'm going to front run it a little bit. If we pump up into this range, I'm not going to sell all of it. I'm going to take partial profits to then buy any dips. That's how you compound your gains and compound your coins. So let me just skim through these, and these are sort of on my hot list. Hey, you know what just landed on my hot list again? BNB coin, you guys. This is putting in a macro cup and handle. It's expensive, but this is a great project that we look at that. We saw a rocket indicator here, and it's just ready to break out above this cup and handle pattern. We'll see, you guys. I'm not ready to buy any BNB. I'm going to set an alert here for when it gets above 700, because BNB is another layer one, and now that CZ and everybody's kind of cleared his problems with the SEC or his jail time. And, you know, I'm surprised this hasn't pumped more with the news that Gensler and his dogs at the SEC are out. So they're less likely to keep going after these big exchanges like Binance. BNB coin likely going to be a big recipient of that, and we'll see a nice pump. The measured move on this from the cup and handle goes up to about 2,200. You know, can it go that high? Look at Ethereum, look at Bitcoin. That's 200% possibility on Binance coin. So there you go, you guys. And if any of you guys want to look at anything, I'm just jumping around on a couple of coins. Been watching on these weekly time frames. The 21-day and 50-day moving average is turning up. And these are some that are looking pretty interesting here. So let's see. Brett token looks interesting. Of course, the best name ever for a meme coin, but in this big red block, lots of sell pressure on MEXC kind of sandwiched in there. I wouldn't recommend buying here. So I did promise doing some live trading, so I want to jump back and just kind of see, do I want to reallocate anything and maybe do some trading here? Let's find one, shall we? All right, OGN. So I like this project. I'm going to hold on to that. Couple of the others here. Let's see. ETH we talked about. Pushed right up to that 3,600 sell block and chewed through it. So since it's now not there anymore, I think ETH is a hold. Could it pull back? It could, but not too far. It's got a nice floor here on this recent highs. Look at that. Okay, so anyway, ETH is one to hold. Obviously, Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and then the other ones where you're really going to make your money though are the sort of secrets that we're going to not talk about here today. I don't time, and in fairness to other members, but I do want to share some. We did get into SUI at $2, had a nice run up on SUI. That's pulled back. I missed that, you guys. We had a rocket 3 days ago on SUI. I do think it has more upside to go on the Fibonacci, just kind of giving it some time to rest and refresh. So I'll be sharing those targets in private clients and also on the M3 Active Trader. A couple others, let's see, ones that are usually up a bit. I want to be selling into the sell zones and or buying. Actually, I was going to come in and buy some Gala, but now there's a sell block that is just formed here. Has 100% or a double potential, but because it's in this red block, I'm going to wait. My red moniker means keep an eye on it. Here's another gem coin I found on Coinbase. This is Drift. Nice looking chart. This is one of our proprietary rocket signals. Problem is low volume, so we put a buy limit, a buy alert out on that, but you want to be careful and not go too heavy on these. We saw a big volume surge. I do think this drifts up about 80% from here. So, I might go in and buy some of that. Let me just go over and see what we're working with. And I'll have to come back and see, because sometimes I've got either fully allocated or I have buy orders in. So, I was doing shopping. I was doing some Black Friday shopping here the other night. And so in terms of, so we've got some available and looks like some sell orders hit. And took some profits on those. I'd have to go in and check that. But that's the name of the game, you guys. So let me just hop over here. And I'll go to my orders tab. Let's just jump over to this real quick. And over to the orders tab. And so let's see the ones that would have filled down below. Sold some stacks. So profit level hit. Sold some stacks. Have some cash to work with. And that would have been, let's see, I'm not sure that was last night though. So what's the date today? I think that was yesterday's the 25th. So that was a 2 days ago. Okay, well, let's go in and I'm going to go into here. I'll show you how to do this. So make sure you're on the advanced tab down below. Go over to the spot area here. You can look at orders. You can look at portfolio. And just touch on that real quick. So I've got quite a lot in here, just all over the place. Just gonna go fast and not show you all of that. But in the spot market here, we're gonna add in Drift. And this is not financial advice. If you're watching this, I'm doing this for educational purposes only. On a 1 hour chart, it's coming down a bit. I'm not going to do a chart here. Typically, we want to kind of be buying coming out of a low. But for example purposes, now you can do it two ways. You can go over and do a market order. Problem is, they're going to charge more commissions. It's still less than in the basic mode. You can see I'm in advanced mode down in lower left. But I'm gonna teach you two ways to save money on your commissions. So I'm mostly fully invested, and I've got buy limit orders in for about 7K in coins. Looks like I've got about 5K available. So am I going to go in ape all into this? No, because it is low volume, probably. But I do like this chart, so I'm going to probably go in at say 2,000, 2,500. And go for this 80% move, okay? And then if I like it and it goes up a little higher, I might buy more of it into momentum. That's how I like to trade. So we could go in here and do a market order and do max, and that puts that whole 449.92 in there. Don't want to do that. We could do 50%, which is around 2,500. I'm more comfortable with that. So, but again, why pay for more when you could do it as a limit order? So they have something as a maker fee and a taker fee. You're a taker if you do a market order. You're taking liquidity from the sellers, okay? It makes it harder for the market maker to make an efficient market, and the spreads widen. They like things nice and tight. So they reward you as a maker, when that means you're going to place your order on the bid side. So I'll go to limit order, and so now all I have to do, again, I'll hit 50%, and now I just need to choose the limit price. Some cool buttons in here. You can go in here and do the right at the bid, so that would put us right here at the bid at 14.19. Some people will go mid. That would be a price between the current bid and the current ask. It's pretty thin spread, $1.419, $14.21. It just widened slightly, so there's a big seller right here. So what I'm going to do, instead of going at the bid and waiting, I'm going to essentially do a market order, but only pay maker fees. It's lower fees. How do you do that? Well, I'm going to set my price. Instead of 14.18, I'm going to click right there, go back to 50%, and I'll go buy drift, and it's going to fill immediately. See how it filled right there? Because I was doing it at the ask, essentially, but because I did it as a limit order, it gave me the maker fee. And and so here's a decent sized seller sitting on the ask. So this probably goes down a little bit, but I'm trading on the daily chart, okay? And this is the move. It sold down a little bit there, but what I could also do is, since I like this chart, let me just double check. I've got my TSI turning green. We had a recent rocket. I'm waiting for our other signals to go green, or being like Wayne Gretzky. And so what I could also do, let's say I want to buy more, if it comes down to this 21-day exponential moving average, that's going to be right here. I'll go a little bit higher because in the next day or two, this will come up. So I'll come right in there at $1.30. How about that? So I just paid $1.40, $1.42. So I'm going to do a buy limit order now on the bid. And I'm going to, instead, I'll say $1.30.